Kaf Resh Lamed Vav, and because I wanted to see some more of this idea that he said. I guess we could read down below number Tzadi Tes. So he says, Gam Yesh Chiluk Acher. What was the subject here, just to make it easy? He says, Gimel Tamim Lama Yesh Neshama Yisera Rak B'Shabbos. That's the subject. Why is it only at Shabbos? So he said, he had said previously that it comes by itself in a certain way because of the Kedusha Shabbos. So it's Tzadi Tes. That's what it is, Tzadi Ches. He said, "V'gam yesh chiluk acher v'hu ki b'Shabbos nimshachas et osefes kedusha ma'atzma. Kol ma she'na'asach al yedei, etc. Ke'ez lo nichta v'bir al zeh." So we didn't really get into that more. V'od chaz in the moed. You come back it again. This is Hashem. Gam yesh derech b'chiluk noiset ben Shabbos le'mosachol. There's another difference. V'chiluk b'Shabbos. Olim klalos kol olamos, and all the klalos of all olamos go up. Ki b'Shabbos yesh aliyah the kol klalos of olamos shachal l'rabiyah. Behind the hein b'pinimius behind the chitzonius, so all the different aspects. And he wants to say, what does he mean by different aspects? He wants to say the pinimius and the chitzonius, all of them go up. He says, Masha ein kein b'chol, Masha ein kein b'chol. He says, Shasham he aliyah acheres the gamri. It only takes place at the time of tefillah. 1 second. Tefillah levad. He said, so he said, understand that the word neshamos and the word penimius mean the same thing. So in other words, the inside part, but that does not appear, it does not pertain to the chitzonius olamos. They're still there. So he said, but bechinas neshamos shehem penimius olamos hem olam yachad ima shchina b'shiyarta b'layla b'sod miut yareich. So here's where we're at this time of day now. See, so Hashem penimius olamos, once again, they go up together as the malchus, the aspects of malchus come out from the lower worlds. Sheyardo b'layla b'sod miut yareich. The hiyos lo b'sod mayim nokvim kanoida. So that was a question that I had. He says this becomes then the feminine waters idea. Because they come up together. In other words, the penimius, the olamos, as the Shechina comes up, they also naturally come up too. So they become mayim nukvin for the female aspect. I guess what I'll translate that mayim nukvin is the name Mab, and it's that energy as it's coming back. It becomes what we call mayim nukvin. So look at the old yesh devar beinin tefilas achol. Light print. He says shekavanos aliyas. Shekavanos aliyas penimios olamos sheolim ima shchina leman tzrich le'asos so yudain de b'seder kavanos tefillos. It has to be done by us as we are studying the order of prayer. So he said once again, he said the order, the kavanah that we have to bring the worlds up, who kavarna asa has already taken place before we get to the Shemona Esrei, because the tefillas amida. So he said, "Mitefillas amida alena the shabeach she'azach olam b'mekabler b'chas hashefer ha'elyon hanishma min zivug shel zun," which is what is happening in the amida. He says, "Oz ein sark l'kavin l'chored echasach olam l'makoma." Then you don't have to worry about that. He called over the same who rock la alos as olamos on tefillas almida v'lo horbidim. So we don't have to have it. They're going to fall down by them. They're going to come down by themselves. Yeah, olamos yordin the makom of the matam atzman shelo ad yedech kavana seinu. So it doesn't require kavana to bring them back down. So in other words, connect them or to bring the flow down. V'chavizman yiridis olamos me'alechem kul la'acher amiris olena shabeach. So he said, what the time of the ultimate Yerida of the Lomos by themselves, Hula Acher Amiris Eleno. It takes place after Eleno. So all the rest of that, up until Eleno, it sounds like, it's really trying to, connecting the pipes, so to speak, from one world to the next. That's what it seems like to me. So now we're in a little spot where it shows Asham Nizboyer. So there it explains Kavanas Akadish Ba'atzmo Mahu Ba'orech. What is it? Let's read down below. He said the Kadavar Kavanas Akadish Ba'atzmo Va'atach Bevarav as a Kavanish Shabaramiras TEVES Akadish Ba'atzmo, that when you say the words themselves, as a to'elas sheyesh decha b'chamiras kaddish, and also what we're really trying to get at when we're doing the kaddish. Kaddish desakin the oimbrach b'lashon targum. Now I'm in the right place. Let's see. Yeah, the kaddish is said in targum. He said v'sham halashon he. So maybe I should read now the Rav also. Okay, Niska b'zachar b'pashas trumba b'zachar b'shonda the mizbar Shal is the parzal. So we're talking about the Kaddish now. V'Rabisham Elashon, who the actual language is v'nizbar v'sibra m'na'alim, the locks, v'gushpankim, I think a gushpank is a ring. The parzal, the barzal are the chains, the parzal, v'kalifim bishin, and the bad klipas. Through the Kaddish, this does all of this. Nishbaros shal shalos abadol shechem kinoi al hakali. V'od strichim the Indian the ayin bezoer. He says you have to look over there, get more information on it. He says v'chev Indian who is like this v'chatam lezehu. There's a reason for this. He says b'mashal datichu b'shach chitzon b'shar. Excuse me, on mitzvos b'pash v'eschanan. Targum who sod acharayim the kedusha, so it's an acharayim. So v'chiloshen the kodesh who bebechin the bepanim, avarav targum who bebechin the saach shel the kedusha, v'hu kedusha gam came, but it's also still kodesh. V'chagam shel targum who mitzad ach, and whereas we see that it's even so that we understand it's in the back. Im kol zecher b'hu gam nichlal b'kedusha. She said, "Ella shachitzanim yonkim b'sham rak shalichiyos shatargum kum mitzad ach l'chein sham kum makom b'chizachitzad v'yanikazim imisham." The Gavarn is bar shagadusha shakadish nisaking the alos esach lama b'malam b'dregas, and so we understand that this is like the using the word the mobs, the 28s, like that, bringing everything up. Shemashet shetiknu lomer kaddish with his b'kadesh also, so that when you're saying the kaddish, ya'alach lomos l'medregas gavochu yosech l'medregas, and that you'll see that the lomos are going up. They're going up to higher medregas. Going to see a b'yitzira, like for example, v'kayotz, and similar to that. V'chein called the lomos shalom and the asiyah, so all of the worlds that are above asiyah, Olim Gam Hain, they also go up. B'miras HaKaddish, when we're saying the Kaddish. 1 second. B'miras HaKaddish, ala b'dreka yosach al yoyne. So he says, V'hine, Ama misyareim pen v'chas, pen chas v'shalom, ayedecha b'liyas al-lomas ya'alecha b'gam klipas yamahim. It brings everything up. The Medrega Gavocham and Medregasim. V'yesh chash upachad shegam klipos ya'alo im b'alomo shal gedusha. Therefore v'yisachso b'chem rav yanko shefa b'hem. V'yedei ze yisachso rav b'kali b'alomo shal gedusha v'yanko shefa b'hem. So therefore kedei limenoa as a kalim and la'alkos as im alomos, to keep that back shal gedusha. Leficha nisaken the kaddish the ombrach b'lashon targum. So therefore we say it in targum. The ichu lishna de lo mishta mera the malachim aloyim. So the malachim themselves, those channels which are on the front, ki lashon targum eno nishmel the malachim agadashim. So that level is not. It's like it's foreign language. V'raka kali shebemakim yanikazim. So the kali, because they're attached to this, who Misham is from, which is from that place. Hey Mivina Beloshan Targum, they do understand Targum. Rekanizka Bezerah Bepashas Noach, Bezerah L'shonach Zover Shonach B'Sisrei Torah. So he said, Kumtara the Haram Nagamamal Nagabeloshan Akadish. The Malachi Asharas, the real Malachim that are in the front of the face, the Ishtadah that understand Velo Hava Mamal the Rebelish the Achra, they only spoke Hebrew or understand Hebrew, but not anything else, Ad Khan. So he says also, let's look here. He said, B'Parshas Lach Lecho V'Zel L'Shonach B'Loshen L'Zocha B'Sisrei Torah, it says over there. He says, Daha Malachi Kaddish, Lo Yikrun, he says, Lo Nistakim, B'Loshen Targum. Itema, so he says that's the Malachi Kadisha. Itema the Lo Yudoi. If you say, well, they don't know it, V'chal Gabriel Ochiv Yosef Ayin Lashon. So he taught to Yosef 70 different languages. The Targum is Chad Ayin Lashon. So in other words, it is known. I don't know what he means. Let me see if Gabriel Olive the Yosef, he means Yosef and Tzaddik, I'm assuming. The 70 languages, Minda Yudoi, but they're no, the Targum, let me see. Chad Me'ayin Lashon Hu, Ela Kanoida Minada Rabbi Yudoi, it's certainly known, Overvelot Niskaking Tonon. So, but it's not tied to this, it's not there. Tanan. So he's not Tanan. The lo chayish lo chayshi lo mashgicha malacha, that they don't really they're not concerned about it, they don't pay attention to it. So mois ihu agamayhu, because it's considered to be lowly in regards to them. Mikal Shaar Lashon from all the rest of the languages. Not true about the rest of the languages, but he says that's what it is about the Targum. Atam she'em hamalachim hakadoshim Makirin Beloshen Targum, who the fish shehem mitzad upanim, because on the front side of Zer Anpin. The Shulam Mishum Yenikazim Shal Balacha Begadoshim Kum mitzad upanim Shal Gedusha. V'hem B'davrech Beloshen HaKodesh. So he didn't say Zer Anpin, he said Gedusha. V'hem B'davrech Beloshen HaKodesh. Because that's the side of Kedusha, of complete Kedusha, Shuhu B'chinas upanim, which is a concept of faces. Shaar B'Loshen HaKadosh, Hu Mitzad Panim Shala Kedusha. V'chein Yenichos HaMelachim HaKadoshim. So also the nursing or the feeding of the Lamachim HaKadoshim, He Mitzad Panim Shala Kedusha. V'lefichach HaMelachim B'Davrech B'Bekirin Davka B'Loshen HaKadosh. So therefore they only pay attention to that. V'Chavolo B'Loshen Targum Shu Mitzad Ha'ach, which is on the back already, and it's a little bit moist, Shala Kedusha. Klipos, but that's the difference. Haklipos, Haim Ba'acharayim, that's where they're at. Avalakali, he says what? 1 second. He says, Avalakali Shanikasim V'Avakiyosem Ki Mitzad Ha'acharayim Shal Kedusha. It's really where they're coming from. They're from the backside of Kedusha. L'chein Hakali Medvina B'Loshen Targum, so therefore they understand Targum. He said, the Acharayim Shahar Loshen Targum is a concept who mitzad ach is a backside. The Vichav Hakale Aneachaz mitzad ach, Heim Midvinim B'Loshen Targum Daikash who mitzad ach. They specifically, because it's in the back, they're going to understand what it says. V'Lecho mitzad upanim B'Loshen HaKodesh, which they did. They don't get anything out of it at all. It's like it's not there. If he also Targum, that causes them to lower their heads, so to speak. Now they hear this tremendous praise that's coming out now. As a kaddish b'loshen targum, they become humble to the Kedusha. They don't wind up going upwards, because in other words, they're debilitated ala Kedusha, they're humbled under the thumb, so to speak, of Kedusha. Heim ene yecholon la'alol la'malach yachad in the lius ha'olamas ha'kadoshim v'oven shebamiris HaKaddish, in the way that, like this, when you start to say the Kaddish, B'lashon Targum, marchikim as sakale min Kedusha. So he says, going on. V'hidach of klipos heim kulan nimshachem b'sod ach. No, b'sod echad. He says, wait a minute again, the klipos, kulam nimshachem b'sod echad asis simon echad. So, now I'm not sure why he used the word nimshachem. V'chavahidach a sakale, he b'sod yud ala simon v'chavashiyesh b'ketaris. It's basically what he said, she'em sod ashte esra yerius izim, which is something else. It also goes along with the 11 curtains made out of goat skin in the base in the Mishkan. Gam Ramazim connected Ayud Aleph Yerius Izim Shahoy Nimshachem and Niskarim B'Shemos. There's a bunch of the Gemara, not the Gemara, the Zohar over there probably should be looked at. So going on, he says we have a little bit. We're just about out of time. Number Kaf Tes. We'll do 2 more. That the secret of all of this has to do with the Vav K, Shem Vav and K. V'hem Ramazach b'shtei ha'osios, Achronos shel Shem Havaya, Shem Osios Vav and K. Shem begematria echad asa, which comes to gematria once again, if you add them together, to 11 again. So this 11 is going that way too. V'shtei osios Vav K olim begematria gemisper Yud Aleph. Shehem Ramaz and the Yud Aleph Simam Melech, which also goes along with that. Begam the Yud Aleph Yerius Izin, and that as well. I think there's one more. No, that's it. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for learning with me.